You know that feeling of just scraping by, like your finances are controlling you instead of the other way around? Yeah, it's exhausting. But what if the path to actually thriving isn't some giant, scary leap, but just a series of small, totally manageable steps? Well, that's what we're going to do in this explainer. We're going to lay out that exact roadmap. Does that question hit home? That feeling of being constantly on edge, always just one step behind your bills, behind your goals? Look, it's a super common feeling, but here's the good news. It's not a life sentence. The way out really just starts with a simple shift in how you look at things.
So the first thing we got to get straight is this. You don't need to win the lottery. You don't need to completely overhaul your entire life overnight. That pressure to make these huge, drastic changes, that's usually what holds us back. The real path to feeling good about your money is actually way more accessible.
It all comes down to this one simple idea: small, repeatable actions practiced consistently. These are the little habits that start to stack up, that compound over time, and they end up transforming not just your bank account, but your entire sense of financial peace.
Okay, so this brings us to a really crucial question. Are you even playing the right financial game? See, a lot of us are unknowingly caught up in what's called the status game, but there's a much, much more rewarding alternative: the wealth game.
Just look at the contrast here. The status game is all about what other people think. The fancy car, the designer clothes. It's a zero-sum game, which basically means for you to win, someone else has to lose. It's a total psychological trap of just constantly comparing yourself to others. But the wealth game? That's internal. It's all about creating freedom for yourself. It's built on the stuff people can't see, like your investments and your savings, that give you options and control over your own life.
And this quote from Naval Ravikant just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures the problem with the status game. It's fundamentally built on competition. To move up, you have to push someone else down. The pursuit of real wealth, on the other hand, is about your own growth, your own security, not where you rank compared to everybody else.
So, once you decide, okay, I'm playing the wealth game, the next step is to adopt the right mindset. And this isn't about some kind of personality transplant. It's just about making a few small mental shifts that unlock absolutely massive results over time.
Man, this is such a powerful change. Most people are stuck in that short-term, daily, or monthly thinking. Did I save enough this month? And it just creates anxiety. But wealth isn't built in a month. It's built over the long run. When you start asking, where do I want to be in 10 years, you stop racing against other people, and you start playing your own long game, a game most people aren't even playing.
But, how do you stay motivated on a journey that takes years? Well, the key is something called the progress principle. Research from Harvard shows that the biggest motivator for us isn't some huge, far-off goal. It's the feeling of making small, consistent progress. That's what builds the belief in yourself to keep going. So what does that actually look like? Well, it looks like this. These are the real wins worth celebrating. Paid off a credit card? That's huge. Built your very first month of emergency savings? That is massive. Acknowledging these moments puts you in a mindset of progress, not perfection, and that is absolutely key to staying in the game for the long haul. With the right mindset in place, it's time for action. It's just like building a house, right? You need a solid foundation first. And financially, this really comes down to two non-negotiable first steps. I absolutely love this analogy because it is just so spot on. If you've got high interest debt, like credit card debt, the interest you're paying is almost certainly way higher than any returns you could reliably make from investing. You're basically taking one step forward and two steps back. So step one has to be plug that hole. Okay, step two is building a buffer, a safety net. And guys, look at this number. It's kind of staggering. Nearly 40% of people are one unexpected car repair or medical bill away from real financial trouble. An emergency fund isn't just about money. It's about buying yourself peace of mind. It gives you options when life inevitably throws you a curveball. And don't get overwhelmed by this. Start small. Just aim for 1 month of your essential living expenses. That's it. Then you build to 3. And then, eventually, you aim for 6. Each little milestone you hit puts you further and further ahead, building that unshakable foundation. All right, now we get to my absolute favorite part. Once that foundation is solid, you build a system to put your growth on autopilot. This is how you make good financial decisions the default setting, not the exception you have to force yourself to make.
This quote from Warren Buffett flips conventional thinking completely on its head. Most people spend first, and then they try to save whatever's left over at the end of the month, right? The wealthy do the exact opposite. They prioritize saving and investing first. It's called the pay yourself first method.
And this is how you do it automatically. It's so simple. The moment your paycheck hits your account, you have an automatic transfer setup that zips a portion of it over to your savings and investment accounts. Then you're free to spend whatever is left over guilt-free. It's so simple, but it changes everything.
Really, the goal here is to just remove friction by automating your savings, unsubscribing from all those tempting retail emails, keeping your emergency fund in a totally separate account. You are literally designing a system where it is easier for you to succeed than it is to fail.
So with your system humming along in the background, we can finally talk about the most powerful part of the wealth game, long-term investing. This is how you get your money to start working for you instead of you always working for it. Investing can sound so complicated, right? But for most people, it can be and should be incredibly simple. A great way to start is with an index fund. Think of it like this. Instead of trying to find the one winning needle in the haystack, you just buy the entire haystack. You own a tiny piece of the whole market. It's automatically diversified, it's low cost, and historically, it's performed very well over the long term. And this chart right here shows you why this matters so much. Money in a savings account, it often struggles to even keep up with inflation. But money in an index fund benefits from the magic of compound growth. That's where your earnings start generating their own earnings. Over decades, the impact of this is just truly staggering. And here's the most counterintuitive part of this whole thing. Once you're consistently invested in something like an index fund, the best strategy is often to just leave it alone. The market's going to go up, it's going to go down, but the people who get the best results are often the ones who just don't mess with it. So let's just quickly run through that roadmap one more time. It all starts with your mindset. Play the long-term wealth game, not the short-term status game. Then it's about action. Build a solid foundation by clearing that high-interest debt and creating an emergency fund. Next, you build a system to automate your success. And finally, you invest consistently for the long term and just let compounding do all the heavy lifting for you. This whole journey really isn't about one giant leap. It's about a series of small, intentional steps. So looking at everything we've just covered, what is the first tiny habit you're going to start with? Because that single small action you take today, that's where your journey from just surviving to truly thriving really begins.